in government in California at the policy level, we've been early adopters for many years, largely because we needed to be. It was popular with the public, of course, but in addition to that, we have certain basic necessities that we have to face. Most of our water is in the north, but most of our people are in the south. And so therefore, California built one of the most innovative water projects in the world. We live in a very large and dispersed state with different kinds of eco-regions, but they're dependent on each other for marketing and other resources. So we had to develop the most extensive freeway system in the United States. And last, of course, perhaps even more what we're known for, we also have air pollution. We have the distinction of having discovered smog. And we know that we're also very vulnerable to the effects of climate change. And for those reasons, we have continued over the years to press farther and farther in the direction of leading-edge motor vehicle and fuel regulations and other controls on. Today, now that we know the overwhelming threat that we face from global warming, there's an even stronger case. And we know that to clean up our air and to cut our emissions of greenhouse gases, which are we are among the leading contributors in the world, that zero pollution vehicles and zero carbon fuels are a must. Today and in the near future, this will mean electric drive vehicles that are powered in one way or another by renewable energy sources.
For the last 4 years, cars like Volkswagen Jetta were not allowed into California because they didn't meet regulations. And yet the diesel fuel was allowed in California without meeting the 15 parts per million that you were going towards. It was 500 parts per million. Diesel actually was better for greenhouse gas emissions than gasoline is. Why did you not disallow the vehicles that would have been better for greenhouse gas emissions and still allow the diesel fuel?
Well, actually, California didn't have the authority to do anything about greenhouse gas emissions until AB 32 was passed. And even now, we're just in the process of developing our regulatory system under that law. What we have authority to do is regulate for smog. And so we have always been suspicious about diesel vehicles because over the years they've had great problems meeting our emissions standards for particulates and for NOx, nitrogen oxides. So we have a separate program for vehicles and a separate program for fuels. We've allowed diesel fuel because it's an essential fuel for heavy-duty sources, but we've set stricter and stricter regulations. It's only now, because of the greenhouse gas bill that we have on the books, that we're able to marry these two programs up together and try to look at fuel economy and greenhouse gas emissions and at conventional air pollutants all at the same time.
Mary Nichols, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go in another direction with the AB 32 process real quick. Are you satisfied with what's going on, and do you think the project,
Well, we're still working on our draft plan, so so far we're getting a lot of great cooperation from many different sources. I think it's going to be, people are beginning to see this is not a walk in the park. But
probably won't answer this, but